guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am gonna show you guys how I contour my face. Now, just so I give you guys I don't want to say a backstory, but like just want to tell you guys about my face shape and what I think it is and so forth. So, I believe my face is kind of in between, or it's either one or the other, but I feel like it's in between of a heart shape and a diamond face shape. Now, there are a lot of similarities with heart face shapes and diamond face shapes because most of them have a pointed chin or it kind of tapers off to a pointed chin. In terms of a diamond shape, it's usually that and also a narrow forehead. Here's the thing though, typically a diamond shape would have that, like generally that kind of type of a feature, but also the temples would be a little wider. The forehead and jawline are similar in appearance. The chin is very pointy. The jawline especially is long, narrow, and tapers to a pointed tip. Also, the cheeks are very high and pointed, which I do have. My forehead is narrow and is widest at the cheekbones, which is what my face seems to have. Face is angular, somewhat bony, widest at the temples. Another key feature between a heart-shaped face and diamond shape is also with the hairline. I don't think the hairline really makes or breaks it, but it's one of the characteristics on there. So normally the hairline of those who have a diamond shape is a lot more narrower than a heart shape. Now, here's the thing. Even though there are a lot of characteristics I have for a diamond face shape, there are things I have for a heart-shaped face as well. Excluding the pointed chin part of it because they both have that similarity there. So usually a heart-shaped face is widest in the middle of your face, which is where your cheeks are, but also aligns well with your temples. So for me, I feel like it's not, my cheeks don't feel like they're that much further out than my temples. They're kind of like somewhat aligned but slightly further out. So another key feature of a heart-shaped face is that they have a widow's peak, or their forehead seems to be a little bit longer, a little bit larger than those with a diamond face shape. So another thing as well is that you can have a broad forehead and you can have a widow's peak that actually will make your face literally look like a shape of a heart. So for me, I don't have a large forehead, I don't have a widow's peak. A lot of my characteristics come to lean towards a diamond face shape. But then there are some features as well where I kind of have a heart shape. So I'm kind of in between the two, but that's just my opinion. Now, some celebrities don't have a widow's peak, but they do have a slightly bigger forehead, and they're still characterized as a heart shape. So that's why, in my opinion, I'm thinking that I'm still kind of in between the two. But if you guys think otherwise, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your opinions and what you think my face shape actually is. So for me, when I contour my face, I like to concentrate to contour right underneath the cheekbones, because after the foundation and the powder, it kind of makes me look flat. So I want to bring emphasis back to my cheekbones again. So I typically like to go right underneath the cheekbones here, not too low, a little bit higher up because I'm blending everything in a upwards motion. Also, I am contouring the sides of my temples right here, the little sides of my forehead, and I kind of graze the top of my forehead a little bit just to kind of concentrate the highlight in the center of my face. Now, I know some people out there would say maybe kind of like put some shadow around like the jawline as well, but for me personally, sorry about that, I don't like to do that because once again, my jawline is sharp. It's literally sharp. Like if I turned off that, you can kind of see how my jawline is like. So that's why I don't really like to touch that region too much. If anything, I'll kind of do a reverse contour, which I will show you guys later in the video. So that's how I typically like to contour my face. I don't use any cream products because my cheekbones are they're very high and they're emphasized enough already, so I avoid cream products on my contours. Like for my cheeks, for my nose I'll do that, yes, but for my cheeks I'll avoid that. I strictly stick to powders. So if you guys have a diamond / heart-shaped face or somewhere in between the two, and you have similar features like myself, keep on watching. I hope you guys like this video, and we'll get started with the tutorial. So first we're going to go in with the Smashbox contour palette. This is the Cali contour. It shapes bronze and glows. It has a contour shade, bronzer, blush, and highlight shade, and a couple of more shimmery highlights. So we're going to go into this contour shade right here. It has no name or anything, it's just contour, and I think it's a perfect shade because it's very neutral, and I love this palette because it has everything here in one palette. I don't have to constantly switch out and everything, but I'm the type of person to layer. However, it is nice to have if you're the type of person that likes everything in one compact. So I grabbed my angle brush, I dipped in, and we're just going to go in right under the cheekbone right there and a little bit on the temple. And what is also great about this is that this is more of a buildable product. If you don't like that type of a product, this wouldn't be good for you, but I personally like to build up my contour just so I have more of a control rather than just a immediate pigment. So we're just gonna go right the temple first, just gives it some shadow. And what I like to do is just go right underneath that cheekbone, but not too low, just a little bit higher up, so we can create that natural shadow. So first just gonna finish up around here and go a little bit on the temple there, and I'm just gonna suck in my cheeks and go right underneath the cheekbone there. Now, because this is a product where you slowly build up, so I do go in a few times just to get that desired pigmentation. So when we are creating the shadow, we don't want it to look like the shadow's being dragged down. We want to make it look like everything's lifted. So that is why I want to lift the shadow, the product upwards, so it can also blend in with the blush as well and not create a shadow under, like not too big of a shadow or a shadow underneath that cheekbone. And once again, I'm just gonna run over the temples a little bit and just kind of graze the top right there, just so everything kind of looks a little bit more seamless. So now I'm gonna go in with the other side, and once again we're gonna go around the temples first, drag it upwards to the side of the forehead, and I have hairs all over the place, and I'm just gonna graze over the top of my hairline there. And suck in your cheeks. So another tip for you guys is that when you are creating the shadows should be a little bit darker on the sides here compared to the front, because we are trying to make this a little bit more natural, even though it's with makeup, but we're trying to make it look natural. So it should be a gradient effect. So it should be lighter here and then gets slightly darker at the back. Not too dark though, but dark enough where you can notice it. And I personally don't like anything that's too dark here because you can clearly see a line, and I don't like that. Now, we don't want to constantly concentrate on this shade because we're going to go in with bronzer to kind of warm up the face a little bit. So I'm going to go in with another angled brush. So instead of going with the bronzer shade in this palette, I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Bronze Light. So I picked up some of the product and tapped off the excess, and we're just going to go over the temples again and a little bit down underneath the cheekbone. And then when you're applying the product, go in a circular motion, back and forth between clockwise and counterclockwise, because you want it to blend into the hairline, but also to blend it in an upwards motion as well in like this region. So when you apply the brush, it just like blends seamlessly instead of having like two different colors, if that makes any sense. So we're gonna go back and forth in a circular motion. And for me, I like products that I can build up, so I really love this product as well. Going back and forth a little bit on the hairline. I don't know if you guys can tell, especially with the ring light in front of me, but it is a little bit more sculpted. You can see my cheekbones a little bit more now. I'm going to concentrate the product a little bit more at the back here and blend it upwards. Now, if you think that you've added a little bit too much product, just go in with a beauty blender and with some translucent powder, just tap over the area and it can blend it out a little bit more and lighten it up instead of being so dark. I am going to go in with one more product. I know it's a lot going on with my contour. However, I like dimension. I like to not to have anything flat. So now I'm going with the Butter Bronzer in Bronzer. I'm pretty sure they have a lighter version of it as well. And with a fan brush, this is from NYX, the number 6. It is more densely packed than a regular fan brush, but I'm going to concentrate this directly like right here. Probably just graze that a little bit, whatever is left over on the brush, but mainly around here just to give it more dimension and darken that shadow up a little bit more. So just softly graze that. And go over. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is a little bit more dimension than before. I love dimension. Just go over that. So something that I like to do after this is kind of do a little reverse contouring just to help kind of emphasize it just a little bit, but not to the point where you can see a sharp edge. Now I'm going in with the Sacha Buttercup. And I believe this is light. Yeah, Buttercup Light. And I picked up some on my beauty blender. So then I'm just going to go right underneath my cheekbone. I'm going to second my cheeks and I'm just going to place a bit of the product there just to kind of emphasize that shadow just lightly. I don't want it to show a harsh line. So just enough. And when we wipe this away, it will kind of give more of a contoured look. When you are contouring or reverse contouring, you have to make sure that you're not doing a straight line like that. You kind of have to curve it to your face in terms of your cheekbones, because everyone's cheekbones, everyone's face shape is slightly different. So there's that, and I'm going to take a bit of that and put it on the sides of my nose just to bake it a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the blush, and I'm just going to go in with the same Smashbox contour palette. Pick up some of that product, tap it off, and I'm just going to put it on the apples of my cheeks and just blend it. Okay, so now I'm just going to take away the translucent powder, and now you see it's a little, you can see that shadow now. You can see that shadow right there. So this is the finished look. This is my contour. Let me see if I can dim this down a little bit just so you guys have an idea. So this is how I contour my face. Nothing groundbreaking or anything. If you have a similar face shape to me, I believe that this would look great on you. I am in between a diamond and a heart shape. So for me, this works better for me because I have a predominantly like sharp jawline, and I'm not trying to emphasize that at all because of how sharp it is. And once again, my cheekbones are fairly high, but after all the foundation, the powder and everything, it will look flat afterwards. So this is why I emphasize my cheekbones again, because heck, after all that, everything will just look flat. And this is why I love dimensions so much. Like, I always have to layer, use different products, and just to achieve that. So this is the look. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I will try and create more content for you guys. My schedule is a little bit busy. I'm pretty sure everyone says that, but I do apologize. And also it's the holiday season, so it's even more hectic than it was before. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed once again. And don't forget to check out my other videos, you know, just to keep yourself occupied while I make more content. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel once again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.